alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger.
Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Jets. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Hall to start the drive. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Wilson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards to pick up there.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Jets are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And they get to him after a gain of 6. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. They'll run with Hall. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
On 1, ready?
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 11. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
On 1, ready?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
On third down, Burrow. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
First carry here for Joe Mixon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That play unable to get started thanks to the defense of Quan Alexander. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall.
And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Open man is Uzama.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Breece Hall, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year.
And the Jets take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Zerline good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
Powering forward. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw.
Rolling to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The former 3rd overall pick, Quentin Williams, there to bring him down.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away.
And here comes Berrios.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck.
And the Jets will take over.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do bulk?
There he goes, right side. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Zerline now for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
I'm wondering.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Play action. It's Burrow. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
I know we don't have a special scoreboard to show it, but the offense, they've surrendered more sacks than they have points thus far. This defense, they're winning in all phases of the game right now.
Under pressure, they got him again. Carl Lawson, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. The left-footed Kevin Huber set to punt it away. Here's Berrios. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Paul on to give up the middle. And down to the 36-yard line here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground. That's a step in the right direction defensively here, because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 31-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Hall. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 15.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
11 Thomas.
Back to Mixon on first down. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On one, right?
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
He will find his man Chase complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The quick throw by Burrow is complete. Touchdown!
Jamar Chase.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll make our score 14-7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Come on, set.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with a home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
On 2.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
I'm wondering.
And he powers through the first lane, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. Now on 2nd and 13. Burrow dumps it off to Mixon. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Let's get set. 11, 11, 11. 11 MT, 11 MT. 11, 11. 11 MT, take. 11 MT.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Now Zerline on and the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Quentin Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
They'll drop this one down to Mixon.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
A gain of
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's Burrow. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 9-yard line.
After the interception, here's Wilson. That pass complete to Moore. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here we go.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
First down grab there by Tyler Conklin, and he's a big part of the rebranding of the tight end position in New York. The Jets brought in multiple starters at that position, and Conklin, he's coming off a career-best year in Minnesota. 61 catches in his first season as a starter.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Jet 1st down, a gain of 13.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Taking it about the 16. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 49 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
The question for Mixon was, after an injury-riddled 2020, will he be back to his old self in 2021? And not only was he back, he was even better. He set career highs across the board, finished top 4 league-wide in yardage and touchdowns.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time to have a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. This offense so far on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Burrow. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
They're looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
They'll give to Hall.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Play action. It's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
A give running right is Hall.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. Braxton Berrios, his first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Jets are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
On 2, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
I'm wondering.
They go play action with Burrow. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Quincy Williams worked his way back for that sack.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
He gets this one to Boyd. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Here's Burrow. And that will be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 1, ready? 11. Hey, can.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Wilson wants to throw it. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. Touchdown, Jets. Corey Davis, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Jets up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here we go.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now it's Burrow. He's got Hurst, his tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Let's get set. 11.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
Here we go.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Touchdown, Bengals. C.J. Board from 13 yards out. And the Bengals get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And the Jets have got it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for the Jets, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins.